Hi everybody, it's Jo here from Alchemical Journey, and if you're new around here, as I am, then welcome and thanks for being here. So today I was inspired to make this because I had a memory come through on my on my computer while I was working away, and it was a picture of me in 2016 hosting retreats in the UK, and it really inspired me to talk about current days really, and how, or talk a little bit about those times for me, because as I've said in some interviews, that I from 2009 to 2019 I was hosting healing retreats, holistic retreats. I was holding space all throughout the summer to inviting people to come practice with me, breathing, embodiment, to to check in with themselves. And I have a very good knack of offering people through practice to really re-sensitize with the person that they are, or the person that they've lost along the way, or to see the wood for the trees, or to feel their greatness in the chaos. And in 2019, we all know that 2020 became very chaotic as we were locked down and the pandemic and everything came. And for me, since then, I've had a massive shift in direction in my work, because I had a whole host of people come in. You could imagine 10 years of about 15, 16 weeks throughout the summer of teaching, guiding, and working with people from all different walks of life. People that just wanted to come and chill out, people that just wanted to come. And the way I guided, it was under the umbrella of yoga, but I soon wanted to detach myself from that, because yoga blew up in the Western world of, exercise, up dog, down dog, lots of flat out exercise. And most of the participants that came to me didn't even have a clue how to breathe. And I had a lot of people come in that had, that loved doing handstands and headstands while I was preparing to set up, all this sort of ego being thrown out. But the whole purpose of it was to offer people this lovely connection to self, and for them to really become a self-healer, become a self-believer, become in love with themselves. Just this beautiful sensation of guiding them into the inner knowledge, the inner wisdom, and everything that they are and they truly are. And when I look back at a memory like that, it is a very different life at the moment. I'm still working online a little bit with people who are seeking me out or finding me, but the majority of all the groups I was working with, 8 to 12 people per week, and it was so beautiful. I really, really thought naively that I had an army of people that wanted to heal, wanted to be the best version of themselves, was really interested to find out who they were, why they were here, their purpose. And then that flipped on its ass on 2020. As you know, we were all, and so this passion for me, I have a personal practice, and I've had that since, a dedicated personal practice, a daily practice for 25 years. So every day I'll do something for me that I am included in my life. Every day I'm included in it. I don't want to be, I put myself on the back burner for years, and it caused such disease in my body, great disease on my face. They said was was not curable, and I think that when I got told about that disease, it was not curable, yet it wasn't with me, it just suddenly shown up. That was a real game changer for me, because I just thought, how could this ever be possible? In fact, the biggest wake up for me was when my dad was killed in 1995, and the way the system and what came with that aftermath of that, I learned so much from that time, and it just flipped me from basically like, what the fuck is it all about? And then after that, creating this disease in me and being told I couldn't cure it. I had to take long-term antibiotics or antidepressants to make it better, or to make me live with it. And I was like, I remember coming out of that doctor's surgery and going, no way am I taking that. So I searched for a long time for the cure outside. I tried I mean, there's many, many more now, because back then when I had rosacea, it was a new thing. There wasn't like now you can get any beauty product to take away redness, to help with this rosacea, they're selling it. And I never had any of that, but I tried Chinese medicine, microdermabrasion, facials, diets, kinesiology, supplementing, so many things to cure myself, until I became so bad and so low and so dark and so hopeless that there was only one way for me to go, and there was two roads. It was either take myself out or heal myself and bring myself along. And I took that path. I decided that I was going to drop every external advice, information and knowledge. I was so overwhelmed by it all that I took myself on, and I decided to kill myself. And what I learned in that process was just insane, because I not only healed myself, I became very clear about the abilities I had, and the magic that we are, and the potential that we have, and the wisdom that we hold, and the knowledge that we are. And hence, after a number of years of sorting myself out, I then opened my holistic and healing center here in Turkey, and I witnessed transformations every week. I worked, like I said, with so many different walks of people. I worked with Alcoholic Anonymous, AA. I can't say that. I worked with AA people, and I had people dropping medication and just like really coming home to themselves. And I've had this passion and desire for this forever. I did it for myself, and also even if we go back younger, when I was a kid, I always felt like, what the hell is this? Eat, sleep, work, repeat. You know, what about the human? What about us? And so this is why I'm used to not being on camera. I can't stand being on camera. But I was speaking to somebody that I really admire in a way, or inspires. I'm really inspired by her. And she said to me, you need to start talking about this sort of stuff, because my business is no longer in the physical, apart from when I'm online working with people, then I need to, you know, it. And I kept feeling that I just wanted to share all and just keep encouraging people. That's the point of this video, is encouraging people, learning and connecting with like-minded people that are as passionate as passionate as I am about our spiritual growth, our evolution, how we can evolve, transform, transmute what we the things that we can't work out about ourselves, the aches in our body, the pains, the illness. So, because we really can. So I think it was about 2015, I started a podcast to help people with rosacea, because I was seeing it in a lot of people. And rosacea is a disease that you cannot talk about openly, because it's a soul-destroying disease. It's the most horrific thing I've ever been through. You know, this thing on your face, and I was hairdressing at the time, and I was looking in the mirror all the time. Even now I find it hard to look, because it's just the habit that I got into for years. And it was horrendous. I mean, what rosacea is an umbrella of so much. For me, I had grief. I had my past, the way I was. I always felt in me that I wasn't living true to me, and because I felt like I was a very empathic and kind person, yet I was the most aggressive and hot-headed and fire that you could meet, really, because I just got my knickers in a twist so bad that I just couldn't see the light from the trees. So I decided to make a podcast. I've made 100 podcasts on rosacea, just that one subject, and I let that go out, and it's all free. People could, and there was always an invitation to get to call me or to get to know me. And then I started to work a 6-week like together program. It wasn't a program. I really delete that because I really hate that word. I started working with people, offering them 6 weeks to sort of walk their path together. And the outcome of that was really, really tremendous. I was able to, the first thing was to make them realize that they had caused it and they could heal it. And that's the hardest thing for anybody who is suffering with a disease to come to terms with. Like, how could I have created this? It gives me so much pain, and it's such an awful disease. It knocks your self-worth, your confidence, anything, like relationships, everything. It just knocks you so badly. And how could I have created it? Well, once we got on our journey with the people that chose to work with me, it soon became really clear, because I did it for myself. So I was actually, the person was speaking to somebody who'd actually healed the disease. And that's what I'm finding these days. That's what's changed massively for me in this current times, is that people are choosing ChatGPT, AI, and all the rest, everything, Google, doctor, and all of that, than asking the person who has lived and breathed it. And the funny thing is, even when I was talking at, there's a lady that I was chatting with on my channel called Rose, and she was saying how many sort of clubs she joined, and people, and not gurus, but mentors and things, to try and find and seek her way. Well, I never did that. I didn't lock myself in a room, but every day, as it is still, I manage myself. I ask myself. I'm curious about myself, and I'm a work in progress, as we all are. And there's always something to have a look at, or to go deeper on. And I love it. I absolutely love it, because you are, as the saying goes, you are the best project you ever work on. So I've sort of gone around the houses with this talk, but my main thing is this channel is to meet like-minded people, talk to like-minded people. I've heard through the grapevine that many people have come into this situation where they had thriving businesses, and then after the COVID came, the pandemic came, everything changed for them, because people chose a completely different path and route to what we did, or what I thought. And that's the thing for me. It still blows my mind now, because I worked and witnessed so many beautiful transformations, and people just becoming well and happy and back into the direction, and just coming back into their own harmony and just purpose. And then at that time of COVID, we just did this. Some of us went this way, others went the other way, and so that took a lot for me to get used to. So now I want to talk to the ones, and I want to be around the ones that have got their boots on the ground and are really doing all they can to be the best version of themselves in these current times, because we are the change that is needed to get us through all of this governing nonsense, because they don't want us happy and living in this free, in our sovereign self, or our harmony, or our balance, because we're too hard to control then. But for me, I'm just hoping that so many more and more people take themselves on to realize their innate potential and power, and how they can lift them and learn how to be in the greatest health, in the greatest mindset, in joy for life, because this is the whole purpose of us being here. We've been ripped and stripped and pushed and funneled into directions that isn't natural. You know, nature is our guiding force. Our nature is, you know, is just such a beautiful thing. And I will not stop and sharing how important it is for people to come back into themselves and take themselves on, like I said, and coming out of fear, because when there's fear, you're in a great place to be controlled. When there's fear, you're likely to become and not feel and to feel that your body isn't in the best shape it is. Illnesses creep in, dis-ease creeps in, as it did with me. And I can't have that. I just feel that that's robbing us of our lives. And we have all got a backstory, and mine, I think I've come to this place. Death has been my biggest teacher. I can't tell you. I will talk about that another time, but death has been my biggest teacher, and never in a million years would I have thought this would have been my ride, but it is, and I'm still going, and I have even more of a determination and more passion and more need to live the best life and to do what it takes for me to be in my life in the healthiest, happiest possible way, because I know the powers I had and the powers I've witnessed that make it possible, because you are just this magnificent soul that is so bypassed through social media, phones, news, government, climate, you know, all this stuff just instills fear, and we need to take back our power, because we are, when we rise, everything happens. And there's a beautiful network of us out there that are not living in fear. We are living in and standing in our own self and doing what it takes. And we're doing it not just for ourselves, we're doing it for everybody, because this is what we believe in and this is what we know to be true. And I just hope that this video might reach a couple of people, because, you know, when you're on this path, it's lonely. You know, people do dissolve away. You don't feel the same, you don't think the same way as most. You don't, or, you know, you've always, I mean, for me, I've always been the weirdo. I've always had to shapeshift to fit in somewhere if I wanted a social life and things. It's not, it's very rarely that I have a beautiful friend who lives about 8 hours away from me, and we can speak as openly, and I can speak as myself. And, you know, my husband and I have people on the same page, but we need to be more. We need to understand the power and the potential of what you are, of what you can do, of what you can have, of how you can feel, of what you can change within yourself. And it's just abundant. It's just abundant. And we don't even know half of it yet. I mean, we're just riding on this wave at the moment of chaos and doing the best we can. But when we are still, when we learn to be in the company of self, and that's the problem, there's so much bypass that people are just forgetting about themselves until they become sick. And then you have to give yourself a bit of attention because you don't feel well, or you've been diagnosed with this, or you've been told that. It's just, this has to, you know, we have to go beyond this. We have to become the best version, question ourselves, ask ourselves, what is it? And not become busy in the external noise that we forget. Because if there's one excuse I've heard more than, if I had a penny for every time I heard this, I haven't got time. I haven't got time. I've been too busy. Work's been so busy. I've been doing. That's a really poor, lame excuse now. It's not even valid. It's not even valid anymore. I'm not just sat around with myself all day, you know, doing life. I have things. I have a work to do. I have this, but I always rota myself in. I always give myself time, because if I am not doing that for myself, I have nothing to offer. I am useless without myself. And I am here to know this person and to know more of it, like every day, for as long as I'm in this life, breathing, then that's the excitement. That's my driving force. And at the moment I'm breathing and I'm reaching out and asking or sharing this, because I am, like I say, I'm not working, not hosting groups, but I'm hoping these groups will come back. I'm hoping after a while, it will all settle back in. I'm still doing one-to-ones, which I absolutely love, with a few people who invite me, and that's beautiful. But times have changed, and we need to really come back to the magic, to the essence that we are, because once we do that, it changes everything. I cannot tell you, I did it for myself. I've guided others to do it, and I just feel that, and all it takes is you giving yourself time to know yourself, to move and to breathe in a way that serves your soul. And you need to do it every day and become dedicated to it, because I see so many people so dedicated with sharing their truth about their predictions of what's going to happen in the future, where we're going, political, spiritual, just so much, videos after videos after videos. The knowledge comes in, and yet they're crumbling as a person, because they're so dedicated to putting it out there that they forget about themselves. And we have to come into this harmony, this balance. Be in nature. You are nature. Be in the nature. Go for your walks. Just take time out. You have to. We've been programmed. Do. Say yes, 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 yes. And if we're not successful there, it's about becoming successful. It's about tending to your own divine device, and just coming back into yourself. And this is my passion. This is what I'm about. There's many, many subjects and topics I could talk about, but I'm going to stop and just say, if you're watching this, thank you very much. But I have such enthusiasm for the humans, for staying human, and for right action, and for keeping carrying on in this chaos. It takes stamina, but we will, and we're going to push through, and we're going to make sure that we are the frequency that change this, because we are. But you have to come on board, and it starts with you. It cannot just be something you've read. It needs to come from you, and from dropping your own veil and coming in and just seeing yourself with your own eyes, looking in the mirror and just doing what it takes, because it's magic. It's beautiful. It's needed. And it changes. This connection to self is unreal. And I hope that you take yourself on and find this, because you're so much more capable than we've been told. We've been dumbed down for years, and now it's time to rise. Just like the fire horse is coming in, we're still riding the old snake, shedding off, and then the fire horse comes in, and let's see where it takes us. I'm excited. I feel the energies are a lot different this year. And I just hope that people really understand that nobody is going to save you. Nobody has the answers, because it's all within you, and you are unique. I am unique. And with that energy and power of self, it's beautiful. Thank you. If you've watched this to the end, well, thank you very much. And if you'd like to give us a thumbs up. If not, just thanks for tuning in, and I'm going to be back. I'm going to be doing a part 2 with Rose, and we're going to be talking about Göbekli Tepe, because she has been on many quests there, ley lines, and just talking about stuff that light up our world, and we are that light. So thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to catching you another time.